So Theo, are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, do you know what? First of all, like when it started, I said to my wife, Mel, I said, look, I'm going to apologise right now. There's going to be a lot of football. Okay, so I apologise straight away. So that's fine. And as well, I've been letting the kids sort of stay up a little bit as well to watch the odd England game. I mean, the game the other night as well, I let my biggest stay up. But to be honest, he actually was starting to fall asleep during the first half, like a lot of people. But yeah, I managed to get into sleep quickly and get down for the second half. So I was pleased. It was really, really exciting second half.
Theo, tell me, where do you sit on it yourself? Because I'm obviously looking at it from the outside, and I always think there's in major competitions, there's no real middle ground from people like myself in the media, in terms of England performances. The first game ran brilliant, and everything in the garden's rosy, and then the second game against the USA was really, really poor. And I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Gareth will be delighted with the way things have gone, surely.
100%. I mean, the fact that all of our players obviously play in the Premier League at a high level, they're expected to win every game. So I understand people get disappointed where England don't perform at a certain level, but they got to recover after, a few days of, obviously coming back from the Premier League, recover from a game they played against, obviously around the first game. And the Americans were obviously very, very intense to play against. And as well, you don't lose your games basically in the knockout stage. And that's exactly what they did. And for why they kept the clean sheet as well. And clean sheets are very important. Obviously, going into tournament football, you only need to win the game by one goal. And the fact is, when games start to open up as well, particularly, you can start to see the freedom and people express themselves. And I'm really pleased we've actually stuck with the four, and I hope we continue with the four at the back. Because it can really sort of, our forward line is just so explosive.
Well, Theo, that's my next question. This is going to be a difficult decision for Gareth. When the opening game, I thought, you got to pick Rashford, the form he's in, and you must pick Foden, and he didn't, and yet Saka scores 2. And of course Raheem scores a cracker as well, and I'm like, fair due, Gareth, you got it right. Then the guys come on and they look superb. Marcus is in sparkling form. What does he do Sunday?
Well, they're all pushing each other, and that's great obviously for a manager because they all want to play. Marcus in the first game obviously not started. He would have been disappointed like any other player on that pitch, but I'm a big fan of Saka, massive fan. But now when you rotate the team and a player comes in and does that well, it is very difficult to drop them because their confidence is that high. They're only going to carry the team. A bit like the way MBAPPE carries France. I get that sense that Marcus could be that person for us, the way he's playing right now. And what I really enjoy, and I've missed it for the last couple of years, is he just smiles now. He's smiling. And that's all you want to see is on the field with Marcus Rashford just smiling because, that for me, it shows his character. And it definitely comes out when he plays in English shirts, particularly now, but he's got a big decision to make. I mean, I like Saka massively. I've always been a big fan of him, so I would actually start Saka. I think he's done nothing wrong at all. I think the tricky one would be now, obviously, Rashford and Foden. And I mean, what a great headache to have, though, isn't it? I love Foden. I think Foden should probably play. He deserves every minute now. He's plays for Man City. He's won titles after titles. He plays with the best players in the world. I mean, he's so different the way he carries the ball. He's like he could fit in any team in that World Cup. He could play for Brazil. He could play for Spain. Anyone. Yeah. He's that good.
Theo, I wanted to ask you, you've got a lot of experience in the England national team. Jamie O'Hara made some comments a couple of days ago saying he'd rather us play entertaining football, and if we went out, we went out, than going further by being cautious. How do you feel on that comment?
The fact that I'm laughing is a bit all, I think. Sorry, Jamie. I love him, but I mean, I'll be honest with you, quite frankly, we haven't obviously won anything since '66. The Euros, of course, we had a 5 at the back and it was quite sort of negative, but we managed to get to the final. I couldn't care less how we win games, to be honest. I really don't. But as well, I understand where he's coming from, but no way. You do not want to be knocked out of tournament football at all. You want to just win the games, get into the next round, and go from there. I mean,
Theo, in terms of a tournament itself, who else has impressed you? I think England have looked good. France were disappointing yesterday, although they changed their squad. Spain, who's impressed you, mate?
Do you know what? I think I'm like you guys. Like the Brazil, I feel like they can just turn it on a little bit. Do you know what I'm a little bit concerned about? Because I feel like they've managed to just do a job at the moment, but haven't been spectacular as Portugal. I feel like they've got some very interesting individual players, and just think something about them. I don't think you want to fancy them, especially knockout. I feel they know how to get through those stages. So I'm a little bit concerned about them, but I wouldn't be really too concerned who England face, because I feel like, we've been really solid at the back. And as well, if games start to open up, we get that first goal, it's going to really help us, perform going through the whole 90 minutes. And the fitness levels of the guys have been tremendous because, obviously it's very warm out here. You guys would know it's not so great here. But, I think I'm a bit concerned about Portugal, to be honest.
Yeah, good shout, good shout. Theo, just a quickie, it looks as if there's great togetherness in the camp. Was it like that in 2006?
Was that like that in 2006? To be honest, I had my camcorder, so I could look back on it, to be honest, filming the guys. But very different sort of English structure back then. Of course, Sven, obviously, foreign manager for England as well. Very different. Obviously, we had this sort of, I wouldn't say cliques, but we had Manchester teams. I think Gabby spoke about before, actually, with the players were all together type thing. I was sort of floating around, but I was keeping myself to myself and just really expressing myself when I was training, really, because I was very young and really out of my depth, to be honest. But very different to what it is like now. And the great thing as well, we really feel like you're part of the team as well because of the amount of videos you see now. We never had that really behind the scenes. So I think it's really nice that we get the chance to actually see the guys, what they're like, away from the football, because I feel like it's nice to know the person instead of the player sometimes.
Yeah, Theo, you're right there. But Gabby said that, but Phil Neville disagreed with Gabby. He says you are talking where the sun don't shine.
Theo.
Yes, go on, hit me.
I wanted to ask you, like, how far do you think we can win it? Because I really do. The more I watch us, and Harry Maguire looks strong at the back. We've got Kyle Walker coming back in. Rashford's on form. Foden, Bellingham. We've got two Scots here who don't want us to win. They want us to get knocked out next round. What do you think, Theo?
Where were you after the USA game? You weren't winning it then, were you?
That was like a friendly for us. We were just trying to get players up to speed.
Exactly. Do you know what? I feel like, obviously, international level is very difficult to play at any level, but I don't think we've been tested properly at the back yet. But I'd say we've been really solid.
Oh, it's coming.
But it's coming, yeah, exactly. It's coming. So,
but would you, Theo, you one of the quickest players in the Premier League in your time. Would you have Kyle Walker, man-mark MBAPPE if we meet against France?
You know what? I would love to see it as well. Really, I really would. I feel like MBAPPE would struggle against his physicality, to be honest, because he, obviously plays in the French league, which is a different type of sort of kettle of fish to the Premier League. And Kyle Walker's had so much experience in Champions League, so. Be a great test to see. I think we all want to see it to some extent, and I couldn't tell you who would win that. I really couldn't, because Mbappe's he's just different level at the moment.
Gabby, were you ever man-marked?
No, man. In training.
Up North Bel Air Club. That's where he was man-marked, by the way.
In Mayfair Club, Al.
Theo, enjoy the rest of the tournament. Thank you very much.
Top man, Theo.